So today we have a BMW X1 S-Drive 20i, and this is my father-in-law's car, and today I'm going to go over it, look at the stats, give my opinion on the outside, the inside, and if we've got time due to daylight, then we'll go for a drive as well, and I'll review the performance of the car. Hope you enjoy today's video. Let's get into it. Okay, so welcome to the channel. My name is J Russ, and today as I said, we've got the BMW X1 S-Drive 20i, and we'll start off with the front in terms of reviewing the exterior. So this is probably the iconic or the most loved front grille of the BMWs, because obviously they changed the design, and a lot of people didn't really like them. They've kind of grown on people, myself included. I'm not the biggest BMW fan, but I still prefer this kidney grille design essentially. But yeah, I like the look of this front grille. It's got that nice aggressive stance, even though this is not really like the most sportiest trim or sportiest car that they have in their model lineup. But yeah, the overall look of the car is nice. It's got the nice little creases in the bonnet. So again, it has that aggressive stance, the sloping stance as well, considering it is an SUV or like an entry size SUV. Obviously, I just got to shout out the branding. Got to brand everything, as a wise man once said. So yeah, J Russ Online. Make sure you subscribe to all my socials: YouTube, TikTok, Instagram. But yeah, let's move on to the lights. So the headlight design, it's classic. It's a classic BMW design there. So you got actually like it when you see it at night. It's that little like cup design in the sense for the daytime running lights, and then yeah, you got the full BMW LED system here on the lights here. So yeah, I think overall it's a nice look. If I'm looking down here, you got your reflectors or fog lights here, and then you've got some vents down here. The fakery going on. We've got that fakery going on here. I'm not a biggest fan of it, but I guess when it's not a top level spec car or the most expensive car in their line, there's going to be things that are blanked out because it's deemed as not necessary. But obviously when you have a bespoke sporty car, it needs all those vents and all of that stuff for aerodynamics. But yeah, overall I like the front end of this car. It looks nice, it looks sporty and aggressive without actually being a proper sports car. Okay, so for the performance stats, we have a 2-litre 4-cylinder engine with a turbo, delivering 189 brake horsepower and 280 newton meters of torque. It is a 7-speed automatic, and the top speed is 140 miles per hour, with a claimed 0 to 60 around 7.7 seconds. So moving on to the side profile, we'll start off with the wheels, the alloys. So these are sitting on 18-inch alloy wheels, and to be fair, it's not actually a bad size. I mean, I'm of the preference of bigger is better in terms of alloy wheels, but yeah, I think it's a nice design, simple, not too overstated, and it kind of goes well with the look of this car and the spec of this car. But yeah, I think moving on down to the side though, there's quite a few creases and stuff. So you've got obviously all the nice lines there coming here, and then like the side skirt inside board. It's not actually a sideboard, sorry, side skirt in there. It's actually, yeah, it's plasticky, but it's a basic trim level. It's nothing too fancy. So yeah, it does the job. Then you've got the chrome surrounds on the doors and the windows. No privacy glass, which I'm surprised my father-in-law didn't go for that. So he did buy this second hand, so it's not something that he spec'd from factory or anything, but I'm surprised he didn't want something like that. I guess maybe he's not that bothered. But yeah, preference wise, I would get a privacy glass or tinted windows at the back. I think it just looks better, especially for SUVs. But yeah, overall, it's a nice design, clean, understated. not much going on at the top in terms of like a slooping coupe style, but it does the job. You got the roof railings, so if you needed to attach anything to the top, then you could. But yeah, this car does the job. And yeah, that's the side profile. So moving on to the back of the car. It is, if you ask me, quite a nice design. It is quite simple, not too much going on. Obviously, you've got a few plastic trim areas here. So this is plastic diffuser, not really doing much diffusing, but it's there for styling purposes. The big bonus for me at the rear is the tailpipes. So we've actually got proper exhaust at the back. So twin exhaust. And yeah, you've got the X1 badging and the S-Drive 20i, so you know what trim level it is, and obviously classic BMW logo in the center. Again, no tinted rears, so you can actually see quite into it, and I guess whilst you're driving, it's probably easier to see out of it. Excuse me. But yeah, it's a decent and nice design, and you've got the rear brake lights here, and then nice classic BMW rear tail lights as well. Overall, it's a nice understated look, nothing too crazy, nothing too fancy, but yeah, I like it. And I think the bonus points goes for the tailpipes for me, because I'm not a big fan of the whole fake tailpipes or the hidden ones that are under. But yeah, it's a nice design. And yeah, I would say, before we look at the boot, I'd say in terms of just the whole exterior, I would give it a 6.5. 6.5, just because of the trim level maybe, but it does the job. It's like a solid 6.5, or even maybe you could say 7. And especially in this this color, it's a nice color, grey. For most cars, it looks good. It looks decent, it looks sporty, it looks aggressive, or mean looking if you want. But yeah, I think overall 6.5, maybe 7 out of 10 for the overall design language on the exterior. Cool, so let's move on to the boot first of all. So yeah, it's a decent sized boot. You've got the kick plates again, or the scuff plates, to protect when you're pulling things in and out, so you don't scuff the paintwork and everything. This boot is, they say, when I was doing my research, it said it's up to 505 litres of space, so you could easily get 2 large size luggage in the boot, and then you can maybe even squeeze maybe some hand luggage in there. But even then, if you needed to, you can fold down the seats, and you can fold them down. Yeah, so it would be, you have to fold them from the side. There's no buttons or anything like that in here, but it's a decent boot space. And under here, you've got actually quite decent under storage as well. So yeah, I think overall, it's a very practical boot. Easily do your shopping, and probably still have room. Carry stuff when you're going on holiday. Yeah, it's a very good sized car, if you ask me. So yeah, this is the boot space. So we've hopped inside, and we'll start off with the steering wheel, which is obviously the thing you're going to use the most when you're driving your car. So this steering wheel is decent design. It's got the gear pedals as well, so you can go into manual mode if you wish to by choosing the gear selector and popping it into manual. Personally, with BMW steering wheels, I feel like the older ones, they became quite outdated very quickly. Like even looking at this, if it does look and feel a little bit outdated to compare to some other cars and some other brands in the same brackets. As I've said, this is a 2020 model year, or 2020 plate, and it just feels a little bit outdated, if you ask me, for a car that's not that old. It's only just pushing 5 years old. So for me, it's a bit outdated, but nonetheless, it's a decent functioning steering wheel. It's got your cruise control. You can answer the phone, turn up the volumes, and all those sort of things. You've got auto headlights. You've got everything you need on the stalks and everything like that. So overall, this cluster is functionable. It functions well. It does what you need, and it's got nice shortcuts. but yeah, in terms aesthetically, it just seems a little bit outdated if you ask me. So the driving display is nice, clear, digital display, and you've got everything that you need, the information that you need for the speedo, your the distance. When you've got the cruise control on, you'll show it display how close it will get you to the car in front. And yeah, overall, it's quite a clear display. Obviously, it's not the latest, so it might seem a little bit outdated, but it's still a nice digital display. Moving on to the central display, it's decent. It could be bigger, but I guess it depends on what this actual trim level is. I'm not 100% clued up on the options that you get for the display sizes. I believe you can get a bigger display as an optional extra. Someone can correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, but it's nice. It does the job. It is the old BMW system, so again, for me, it looks a little bit outdated from what you will see in like the newer BMWs, but it does the job. You've got your media, so you can set up your media. You can plug a USB in there, and you can do everything that you need. But yeah, it does the job. You've got the nav system. You've got the like I said, media. You can go through all the menus and functions, bring up the owner's manual, all that sort of stuff. I'm not 100% sure on if this car has Apple CarPlay, this particular one. I don't believe my father-in-law uses Apple CarPlay in this. I'm not sure. I could be wrong. But yeah, it's a well-functioning media system. So yeah, you've got decent functionality through the systems and the functions and all the buttons. You've got all the nice functions here that are what I deem as essential to be button still. So as you may have seen from my other videos, I'm always going on about the climate control being a function and button rather than having to go through a display screen and touch screen and things like that. Yeah, it's all the buttons here, and you can quickly access everything like that here. As I mentioned, you've got all your auto headlights, your front and rear fog lights, and then also you can obviously put the lights into a manual mode if you wish to do that instead. Got all the functions here in the door. You've got the what do you call it now, for the windows, child lock, release the boot, release the bonnet and everything like that. It's a nice space. You can got plenty of storage. You can put your phone down there, put stuff in the door bins. Yeah, it's a nice cabin. To be fair, the seating position that my father-in-law's got at the moment is actually not a bad one for me because he is taller than me. But yeah, it's a nice space. You don't feel too cocooned because sometimes with cars that have quite big central consoles, you feel like you're quite in a cocoon. And for certain cars it doesn't feel right, but for this, it feels like you've got enough space, but you still feel comfortable and you don't feel like you're gonna knock about in this car. The seats, nice and hugging, comfortable. You've got plenty of adjustment. You've got manual adjustments here, and yeah, it's a very nice place to be if you ask me. The only caveat is the cream leather. I'm not a fan, but that's just my personal preference. Obviously, father-in-law likes that. He doesn't mind that or whatever. But yeah, it's a nice cabin, and there's no sunroof or anything like that, or pan roof. And then yeah, I'm trying to think of other things that I might have missed, but other than that, you've got the nice ambient lighting that you might be able to pick up on camera just because it is daytime. But at the moment, Pops has got the purple lilac ambient lighting. Does the job. I think it's nice to be able to personalize it that little bit further in your cars, and that's obviously one of the features that a lot of modern cars tend to have nowadays. Nice ambient lighting. But yeah, overall all good. So we're now sitting in the back, and yeah, it's roomy. Even in my father-in-law's preferred and comfortable driving position, is actually still quite a decent amount of space. Like, not many people sit like this anyway when you're in a car. So you sit relaxed. So if I was to sit in my relaxed position, I'd actually be all right. So I think it's actually a very spacious rear seat, and I'm assuming if I was taller or someone else who's taller sitting in the back, and my dad needs to just move a little bit forward, then yeah, it's not a problem. But it's still decent amount of space here, decent headroom as well. Like, I'm not 6 foot, but I'm like 5'10", 5'11". I've never actually measured myself, so I'm just clutching at straws. I know that for most people, most of my friends are around that sort of height, so we're around the same height. So yeah, decent headroom and everything like that. Then you've got charging points. You've got the USB-Cs here, and you've got the ventilation system as well. The obviously electric doors, electric windows, of course, at the back, and you've got the speaker system all around in this car. Yeah, I think overall it's a decent space, decent size. You could easily do long journeys as an adult in here. Not sure, maybe 3 adults. I think it would be quite tight with 3 adults at the back, but overall it's decent enough space. As you can just about see here, got the car seat in there for my daughter, so whenever my daughter's with my father-in-law, he's got his own car seat for her. More than enough space for a rear facing seat as well, so easily can cart around kids. If you wanted to look at this or consider this as a family car, you can do so. If you've got young kids, or if you've got your kids are older and taller, then it works both ways. Plenty of space. And yeah, like I said, obviously you've got the ambient lighting, so that's a nice feature, especially if you've got kids. It's something cool, nice for them to look at, and it does kind of set that nice calming mood in the vehicle, especially at night. But yeah, I think overall the interior of this vehicle and the space and the feeling that you get in the cabin is nice. And if I was to give it a rating, so what did I say? I said 6.5 for the outside. I'll give it a solid 6 for the inside. I think the only thing, just because out of preference, I'm not a big fan of the cream, but besides the cream, it's actually a very nice place to be in the interior. And I would certainly think about this if I was considering, an entry-level SUV. I think it does the job and everything like that. Right, so as this is a friends and family car reviews part of the series, I will be asking the owners some questions. Some of them obviously will be comfortable to come on cameras, some not. So I've done the questions beforehand, and I've asked my father-in-law some questions about his car in relation to car life, in a sense. I do apologize, I didn't do any questions for the Mercedes, so yeah, it's just one of those things I totally forgot, and then by the time I thought about it, the owner of the car was on holiday, and I was just like, you know what, we'll just get the video done. So the questions that I asked my father-in-law, the first one is, are you a car enthusiast, aka a petrol head? He said no, but he does like cars. He does take a bit of an interest to cars, especially when he's choosing his next car. He likes to do a bit of research and do some thorough looking to find the perfect car for him. So the second question, I asked him what made him choose this car, and his first part of the response was, I love BMWs, and as long as I've known him, he's had a BMW. And the other part of that answer was that it was the right size for everything and the right size for him. So knowing that he's going to have, hope to have grandchildren in the future, and he does have one now, in my first child. And then we've got another child on the way, so he's got space to carry around grandchildren as well with the size of this car. Then the next question, I asked him, would you recommend your car to others? And he said, point blank, yes, he definitely would. He explained in the next question, actually, because I nearly gave away the answer for the next question. So the next question was asking about how reliable and efficient the car is, and he said it's very good mileage, good MPG, and he went on to say that how practical the car is, and it does everything that he needs. So with those two questions, he said it's like the perfect car for him. And obviously he's biased to BMW because that's his favorite brand. And to answer that, he actually said in the next question, which I asked him, what are some of the cars you've had in the past? So the last 4 cars before this one were all BMWs. He's had 2 1 Series, and he's had 2 Series active Tourers. And then he mentioned that he's had the Rovers in the past, a 220, he believes. So I'll put some pictures up on screen if we find the right one. He's also had a Ford Focus Saloon in the past. So yeah, he's had a range of different cars, but in more recent times, especially as long as I've known him over the last 10 years, he's always had a BMW, and that is his go-to when he looks at going into a new car. So I think he's had this now one or 2 years now, definitely at least 1 year anyway. And I know that, for example, when he wants to change this, the first thing he's going to look at is another BMW. So yeah, that was his quick questions, quick fire answers that he gave me. So yeah, we'll leave it at that. And as I mentioned, we are running out of daylight because of time of day. So we're going to see if we can capture some good footage for me reviewing the performance. But if not, I hope you've enjoyed this video. Like and comment and subscribe and all of that, and I'll see you again in the next video. Peace and love. All right, yeah, so as I said, we're running out of daylight, but yeah, we're just gonna do a quick review of this car, just driving it, giving it a little bit of beans and seeing what it performs like. But yeah, I mean, it's a smooth drive. It is a petrol, and so it's punchy, it does the job. It's 190 brake horsepower. I'm just in the comfort mode at the moment, eco mode, but you can switch it into sports as well. Just coming off this side road where my father-in-law lives, and yeah, it handles any sort of bumps and stuff like that very well. You can't feel too much vibration through the cabin, through the car. Wind noise, tire noise, it's quite decent, quite insulated. Can't hear much tire noise. I mean, I imagine it'd be fairly similar as well with when you're going higher speeds, that you wouldn't hear too much. But yeah, it does the job. Can't complain. Put my foot down a bit. Like I said, we are in comfort, and it does pick up nicely. It's nothing too crazy. Handles bumps quite well, suspension and all of that. Just drive it down here. There's a massive pothole, boy. Go down here. I'll probably do a U-turn somewhere. Like just giving it a little bit of a, not mashing the accelerator pedal, but like I said, in comfort mode, sorry, it's decent enough. I'm just gonna do a U-turn. Cool. Let's put it in sports mode. See what the difference is in terms of driving dynamic. Yeah, you can feel the difference. The throttle response, acceleration response is a lot sharper, quicker. It almost wants to push you back into the seat. It's not that type of powerful car, but you know, for 190 brake, it's enough. What, 280 Newton meters of torque? Yeah, it's got enough kick to it, mate. Does the job. Come on, move out the way. Okay, I flick it into manual, so I'm in manual now. Drop a gear. Oof. Yeah, it's got enough kick in it for you to like quickly maneuver and overtake someone if you need to on like a country road. You know, when you get those Miss Daisy drivers holding you up on those country roads and it's 60 and they're doing 40. If you want to just drop it down a gear, you can, and just, yeah. Now this car, it's got enough to it that you'd be happy and satisfied if you're not someone who's like a thrill seeker or petrolhead who, you know, you want to experience sporty cars, fast cars and things like that. For everyday use, you're going to be happy with this car. Like I said, it feels nice and quiet. It's a nice atmosphere. You've got the ambient lighting and things like that. So yeah, I think overall, decent performance for this car. I certainly would obviously probably put it in sports mode most of the time, but if I was to have this car, especially as a family car, I'd feel like it'll do the job when I'm carting the kids around family, but when I want to have a little bit of spirited driving on country roads or on the M-Way, yeah, the car will do a job. It'll do a job. 6.5 out of 10 for me. So overall, what's that? I've given a bunch of 6.5s and a 6. So I guess if we go in averages, I guess a 6.5 would be a good overall score for this car. It does the job. You've got everything that you need in terms of technology, comfort, performance, and so on. So yeah, this car is decent. If we were to do would I recommend this as a family car? Definitely should be on your list to consider as a family car to have. I mean, to be fair, if you're having an SUV, you're most likely going to have a family anyway, so I wouldn't say, oh yeah, if you was a single person, yeah, get this car sort of thing. But I think, yeah, overall, definitely a car that you should consider if you're looking for like a step on the ladder for an SUV, and you know, you don't want to go top of the range as your first SUV. Definitely something to consider. But yeah, man, I think we will leave it at that as a wrap as we get back to the house and have some dinner. So hope you've enjoyed today's video. Like, comment and subscribe. Any questions, put them in the comments, let me know, and I'll try and answer them or get some information from my father-in-law about his opinion, some further in-depth opinion on the car. But yeah, I hope you've enjoyed, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace and love.